Higgins, the setter for the Bows, leads it off. And that's going to be an ace to get the match started. Tori Arenas and Emily Hardesty chose to let that one go, and that ball dove right at the last minute. Shelby Sullivan goes off the block for the first point for the Aggies.
And knowing that the shorter of all the three blockers in the front row is going to be that outside, that's a great decision by setter Stephanie Ipley to get Shelby Sullivan behind her.
And there's a cross-court shot from Nikki Taylor.
And Nikki Taylor will hit primarily on the right side, but in that rotation, they have her on the left side. That's a great cross-court shot. Again, Big West Player of the Year. Expect some big numbers out of her tonight.
Kiara McGee gets a swing on the outside and gets a point right off the bat. And we talked about the outsides and how important it is going to be for them to produce tonight. And it is Kiara McGee who is going to be in the front row with Nikki Taylor. Babers again, and the second time is the charm for Jazz Babers.
Babers did a nice job of coming off the net, keeping this ball in front of her after the block, and then using the block of McGill, getting the tool for the kill.
Stephanie Ipley with the short serve. Hawaii had trouble handling it. A low set for Babers, but she's able to push it over.
It was a low set, but Babers was smart enough to tip. Hawaii's block looked like they were there, but she goes right in between Taylor and McGill's hand for the kill.
4-2 now, A&M up early on here in this first set. Timing was off there for McGill, but on the way down, she caught it.
And just as Babers had done on the play before, a beautiful tip by McGill out of the middle. She realized she wasn't going to be able to take an effective swing on that set. Very smart to put it right in the middle of all of those Texas A&M defenders.
Jazz Babers, Hawkeye with a great dig. And then Greeley comes in on the outside for the kill.
Calais Greeley, the sophomore outside hitter from Riverside, California. Great cross-court shot right there, right into that open court. Amy Nettles unable to come up with the dig for Texas A&M.
Tight set for Greeley. Reeser. Nikki Taylor gets blocked by Jazz Babers, and that is what we were talking about for Texas A&M to stop Nikki Taylor.
And TCU did it last night. They came out and they blocked Nikki Taylor early. She kept grinding throughout the match, and expect her to do the same tonight, but that's a beautiful block by McGee and Babers on the outside for Texas A&M.
What makes Taylor so dangerous is her back row attack as well, which we will see as well tonight. There's another quick middle. This time Maglio gets that one for the Bows. So 5-5, another tie, already the fourth of this first set, and this could be what we see for the majority of this match, trading points back and forth. Service ace there as Gabby Litwin cannot handle the serve of Nikki Taylor. Nikki Taylor's got a very hard jump serve. That one is going to be out, which is what you see a lot when you have a jump server who hits as hard as she does.
And she struggled last night with it as well. She had a few aces. She did serve the ball tough, but she's going to miss more than your average server would.
Amy Nettles serving for the Aggies. Reeser, hustle by Hawaii, and they're going to get this one back over. Sullivan goes straight down with a big shot for the seniors.
This is great hustle by Hawaii to keep this ball in play, but Texas A&M smart runs the very quick set to Sullivan out of the middle, and she's able to get the kill because Hawaii's defense was just unable to get back in time.
That one goes off the block. They're going to call a touch. Yeah, that one went off. So that's going to be a touch point. Hawaii there tying this thing back up at 7 apiece. Very loud crowd on hand here. Hawaii travels well, even coming more than 3,000 miles as they did. Gonna call a double on that one, and so that is going to be a point. They're saying Taylor Higgins' hands did not touch the ball at the same time.
And this is the same up ref that Hawaii had last night against TCU, and we did not see very many doubles called at all during that match. This time they are going to call it on, say there's too much spin on that ball. It was not a clean contact.
That's going to be 4 hits on that one. So Hawaii having a couple of issues here on offense early on. But if we've seen anything, we've seen that these things really, they work themselves out for the Rainbow Wahine. Stephanie Ipley goes up for the dump, and Hawaii got a little lucky. They had some help from the net.
Ipley was a little obvious on this dump. You knew she was going. Higgins did a nice job of just getting it up in the air, and Maglio sending it over. Hawaii did get a little help from the net on that one, but I have to admit, I think Stephanie Ipley was a little too, you knew that she was going to do that.
Hardesty. Manu Olave goes out with that one, and Emily Hardesty a couple of good hits there. Nikki Taylor read her line shot, though, that she so likes to hit and was there for the dig, and that's been one of Hardesty's shots all year.
Hawaii has scouted Emily Hardesty very well. They know where she likes to hit. They know those deep corners are where she kind of lives, especially when she gets in trouble. It'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments she makes on the front row as this game progresses.
Sullivan on the slide goes off the block, one of her favorite moves we see a lot.
And Manu Olevau is on the outside for Hawaii right now. She was the only blocker up to defend this attack, and it's just such a fast set that she was unable to get out and really set her feet and set her hands for that block.
Hawaii having some communication problems on who was going to take that second ball. Kahaka and Manu Olevau were confused on that one, and it sent it out. And so Dave Shoji is going to call a timeout here. Texas A&M leads this one early on in the first set, 12-8, 5-37 overall in conference's counterparts. On the other side of the court for Texas A&M is Lori Corabelli, the SEC Coach of the Year in her 23rd season, and this is her 4th straight NCAA tournament.
And a lot of connections between these two coaching staffs, so we will get into as the match progresses. But very exciting to see two coaches with such great resumes come together in battle tonight.
There's a point for Coach Shoji right there, is out of the timeout. Emily Hardesty misses that. This is the first time that these two teams have faced each other right here at Reed Arena in College Station. They've faced each other 7 times previously, but never on this court here at Reed Arena. Shelby Sullivan off the slide. This time Hawaii is there to pick it up. McGill comes back quick off the block, and a great quick reaction by Hawaii.
It's a very smart play by Hawaii, knowing that Shelby Sullivan ran the slide. Therefore, it would be hard for her to get back to the block. She actually did, and McGill did a great job of going across her body and hitting that cross-court shot. Very good attack right there by the middle blocker.
Kiara McGee goes off the block for the point. Only the second time we've seen her go with that shot, and it's worked for her both times. So 14-10 now, 13-10. A&M draws out their lead by 3. McGill out of the middle one more time, and Hawaii taking advantage of a quick play.
And we talked about it at the beginning of the match, Casey. McGill would be key to the success of this Hawaii team tonight. She had 19 kills yesterday against TCU. She's already got 3 on the day, hitting a clip of 400.
Kiara McGee goes off the block one more time, and Hawaii hasn't figured out how to stop her yet.
And Nikki Taylor only had 1 block yesterday against TCU. I was really surprised not to see a bigger number in that category. And Kiara McGee is showing she's not afraid of that block in front of her. She's going to use it to her advantage.
Greeley, Hardesty with a dig for the Aggies. She's going to hit it off the back row. A&M unable to pull that one down. Quick reaction, though, by Emily Hardesty on the previous dig to get up and actually have to send it back over the net.
And here at Reed Arena, they do play pursuit. They are allowed to go quite far around the court in order to chase the ball down. And both teams tonight have had some pretty good rundowns.
Missed serve there by Hawkeye. Both teams serving very strategically here. They are targeting certain players, as you would often do, but it's even more important when you have such offenses like these two, you really try to take certain players out. Hawkeye missed that one, so 15-12 now. Quick set, the timing was off, but A&M couldn't handle it.
Ashley Reeser has to dig that ball. It wasn't, the tip was because she had to, the set wasn't there. Ashley Reeser had come off, but was kind of caught standing up, did not react quickly enough. She's got to be able to have that one.
Amy Nettles handles that tough serve. Stephanie Ibley can't go up with that because she's in the back row, and so all A&M can do with that is play defense.
Nikki Taylor led the Big West in 3 categories this season, and one of those is service aces. She is a very, very strong server, and Texas A&M is going to have to dig deep and try to control this jump serve.
Another ace by Nikki Taylor.
And that one, she took some speed off, which let the ball drop even shorter. Emily Hardesty unable to get under it. And to have that kind of control with that much power is very impressive.
Gabby Litwin handles that one. Ashley Reeser gets a shot. And then Greeley goes off the block. Jasmine Babers was unable to help out. So we continue to see these two teams trade points here in this first set.
A great out-of-system swing there by Greeley for the kill.
Nikki Taylor is forced to go over the block and goes out. So we talked about the importance of A&M's block and slowing her down. So far, doing a pretty good job. She hasn't been as, as good as we thought she might be able to be here tonight. Taylor out of the back row. And a overpass by Nettles that neither Sullivan or Hardesty could defend.
Hawaii is playing very good above the net. And what I mean is when the balls are close, when there's tips, when there's balls that are kind of on either side, Hawaii is winning those more often than Texas A&M. They're being very smart with those close balls.
Sullivan with the slide. Nikki Taylor comes up with the dig. Hardesty. Free ball coming for Hawaii. And a tight pass that Taylor Higgins sends over, and Texas A&M was not ready.
Taylor Higgins is not typically the most offensive setter, and actually Taylor Higgins, that's Kendra Kelch.
Sorry.
Kendra Kelch.
Kelch was in the game, and she was the one who sent it over.
That is why
there
we probably saw that, because Kendra Kelch is a little bit taller, listed at 6'1", quite tall for a setter. And so Kelch using the opportunity on that tight pass, and Texas A&M defense just wasn't ready for it.
So it's 18-16 here, and Texas A&M needed a timeout. Coach Corbelli did not like what she was saying. And when you talk about a match such as this, how important is it to get out to a good start here in this first set?
It is. It's always important to get out early and to get out strong, but both of these teams are accustomed to coming back and having some different, to face adversity. You can see here Hawaii is 16-0 in first set when they win the first set, and then Texas A&M 19-1. So both teams very strong in this category.
First set. So we're talking about momentum and how, it changes back and forth point by point here in this first set. When you're looking at that, we've only, it's 18-16 here. Both of these teams are really playing, solid volleyball. We haven't seen any huge errors by either team so far.
No, right now you've got Texas A&M hitting 286, Hawaii hitting 303. Very good numbers. Usually 250 is a number that coaches are going to be happy with. And right now, both Texas A&M and Hawaii hitting well over that 250 mark in hitting percentage. So you really don't have a lot of bad things to say about either team, which is, I think, what we all kind of expected coming into tonight's match. It's definitely going to be a battle.
The key players that we talked about before the match, Nikki Taylor's got 2 kills for Hawaii. Ashley Reeser does not have a kill for Texas A&M yet. And that one goes out, so another point for a coach on that one.
We've seen that happen twice now for each team. When you come out of a timeout, you have got to be focused. You really have to get that serve in. Both teams have now missed serves out of a timeout that the opponent called. Texas A&M needs to take advantage of this and see if they can tie this ball game back up.
Tori Arenas back to serve for the Aggies. Kelch off the set, and Maglio hammers that one down. That was Taylor Higgins back in the game, sorry.
And what a swing by Emily Maglio. Look how high she gets and just pounds that ball right in between the split, going in between Sullivan and Hardesty. Great swing by Emily Maglio.
So Hawaii now out to a 2-point lead in the latter part of the first set. Sullivan is going to get blocked big time on that one.
And unfortunately for Shelby Sullivan, this ball might have resulted in a kill had she not been in the way. The block came back so fast that it hits her before going out of bounds. If her body wouldn't have made contact with it, that block might have actually ended up out.
And they go right back to the senior who finds the perfect spot.
And this is a great adjustment by Stephanie Eipley and Shelby Sullivan. On the ball before, she had pushed the set all the way to the pin. On this last one, she allowed Shelby to be a little bit more inside the pin where the block wasn't, and that resulted in a kill. That's a great adjustment within just 1 point of a block on the previous play.
And that just shows you the talent of Stephanie Eipley and why she was named the SEC Player of the Year. Timing was off for McGill, but once again, she makes a quick adjustment mid-air.
A very smart tip by McGill. That left open area of the court is typically open, especially when there's a double block in front of you. She recognized that Kiara McGee was helping out with the block and put the tip where Amy Nettles couldn't get to it.
Taylor Higgins jump serves that one out. So Hawaii gambling with their tough serving, and they've had now 4 service errors in this first set. And Shelby Sullivan sends one out herself. So we continue to trade service errors here. Hawaii now 3 points away from closing out the all-important first set against Texas A&M. Greeley. McGee goes down the line, but it's going to go wide. A&M is asking for a touch. They are saying that Taylor Higgins caught it, but the up referee.
One of the line judges called it inside the sideline, which which it very well could have been, but the other side, the other line judge said it was deep. So they're saying it was inside the court, sideline-wise, but it was too deep.
Well, A&M comes back with a point there. Jazz Babers, that's going to be, oh, no, yeah.
And you cannot count out this Texas A&M team. We have seen so many comebacks this season, even really late in a set. So although Hawaii is up by 3, the Rainbow Wahine has to be thinking, we need to finish now.
Nikki Taylor off the block. Caitlin Blake in for Ashley Reeser on the right side, and she wasn't able to get off the net quick enough. So set point now for Hawaii here in this first set on Texas A&M's home court. Ipley with a one-handed set, and Caitlin Blake puts that one down.
And that's exactly why Caitlin Blake is in this ball game. Ashley Reeser wasn't doing enough on the offensive side of the ball. You put the freshman in, and she shows what she can do. This girl can hit from the outside, the middle, or the right side. She is such a weapon for Texas A&M.
Still set point for Hawaii. Yes, they're going to call a double on that one. That was definitely a two-hit ball. So that's the second one of those calls we've seen off of Higgins here tonight. Still set point for Hawaii. One-handed set from Higgins, and that is going to be how this set is going to finish for Hawaii. So a very strong set on both sides of the ball, but Hawaii comes away with the first set win on that one, 25-22.
Hawaii hitting 359 with 18 kills. Just a completely offensive show for the Bows.
Hawaii has taken the first set here over Texas A&M, 25-22, and pretty good volleyball so far, wouldn't you say, Chelsea? I think that both of these teams have come out ready to play versus last night.
Hawaii is already showing so much more emotion than they showed last night against TCU. They're hitting 359, and although Texas A&M, or last night they only hit 272, it just shows how much better they're playing. 18 kills per set averaging, and they have one block, which I expect to see those adjustments made later in the match as they kind of get used to that Texas A&M offense.
Maglio and McGill, the two middles, we talked about this prior to the match. They were going to be the ones, along with Nikki Taylor, to really have to step up, and that's so far the two middles for Hawaii have contributed to 10 of their 18 kills. Meanwhile, for Texas A&M, we talked about the need for Ashley Reeser on the right side. She had no kills, so she was taken out of the match. Caitlin Blake was put in. We will see if that change continues on here in this second set.
Because right now, Tori Arenas will be in the back row for whichever one of them comes in, so we'll have to see once that substitution is made. Caitlin Blake ended that set with a really, really big kill for Texas A&M, so we'll see if she's the one that Coach Corbelli decides to go with.
Shelby Sullivan, this senior middle blocker for A&M, leads them with 4 kills right now. Manu Oleval with the kill, and the captain for the Rainbow Wahine gets on the board with her first kill of the night.
And Manu Oleval is one of 2 seniors on this Hawaii team. She definitely does not want to see her season coming to an end today. And she's going to do whatever she can to give this Hawaii team a victory in College Station.
Sullivan, Kahakai is there for it. McGee is blocked straight down, and Amy Nettles was there but couldn't come up with it. And that was the combo of Nikki Taylor and McGill.
That is the Nikki Taylor I expect to see blocking on the right side. Look how high she gets over the net. Kiara McGee had absolutely nowhere to go.
A tight set, and Ipley wins that battle at the net.
And that's an advantage of running a 5-1. So for those of you kind of new to the game of volleyball, a 5-1 means the setter plays all the way around, and she's the setter the whole time. Right now, Stephanie Ipley's in the front row, so she's allowed to go up and attack those tight balls.
McGill comes right back again with another kill, and that is going to be her 5th of the night.
McGill with a good swing. She's had to tip quite a few balls lately because the connection hasn't quite been there with the setter. That time she's able to get a full swing.
Babers. Once again, Hawkeye right there. And then Greeley gets blocked, but it goes out off of Eipley and Babers' hands.
Savannah Hawkeye for Hawaii, their libero, number 15. She is just digging everything that Texas A&M is sending her way, and then she's allowing her hitters to finish off those points. Great job by the libero.
Already 10 digs tonight. 11. Off the block for another point, and Nikki Taylor is starting to take advantage of the weaker blocking for Texas A&M.
And things are starting to get away from Texas A&M as Hawaii takes a 4-point lead. You can see Kiara McGee kind of swatting at that one instead of going up strong. Nikki Taylor taking advantage of it and tooling the block.
This time, McGee just goes around her and lands right at the feet of Taylor Higgins.
Stephanie Eipley kind of tricked McGill. McGill was unable to get out there and help Nikki Taylor, leaving her with one block. Great swing by Kiara McGee to go down the line.
Ashley Reeser is back in the match for the Aggies on the front row. That one was maybe one that she should have passed, but it's so hard to judge those coming over the net at you.
And that's just a mental mistake by McGill. She went up a little too early, tried to hit this one. You can see the timing just way off, and she ends up hitting it into the net.
Greeley had to pass that serve and was able to still get a kill off of the set.
And that's what Texas A&M was trying to do. Serve her short, try to get her kind of out of her rhythm, but Greeley did a wonderful job of transitioning, getting outside, and still getting a nice attack on that ball.
Hawkeye cannot come up with that dig, and so Texas A&M tipping to the middle of the court that time instead of right to the left side. Gabby Litwin now into serve and play back row for the Aggies as Jazz Babers comes back in. Maglio, timing was off again on that set between she and Higgins.
And I liked the set by Higgins. Instead of going outside to Greeley, which is what Texas A&M might have expected, she tried to go back to her middle, but Maglio just a little off on her timing, as you said, Casey, couldn't connect.
Taylor, a hard hit ball, and Texas A&M is unable to finish that one. Went at Eipley on that one, actually went at Gabby Litwin on that one, and just everybody was running it down and could not come up with it. So Hawaii holding on to a 2-point lead here in set number 2. They won the first set 25-22. Greeley right over the block one more time.
And Greeley with her 5th kill, she's hitting .455. That is a great hitting percentage for an outside hitter, somebody who's going to get a lot more attempts than maybe a middle or a right side. Very good numbers for Clay Greeley.
Reeser's blocked out though. So point Texas A&M, and so once again another close match here between these two teams.
And that's going to be Ashley Reeser's first kill of the match. Texas A&M would love to see her getting a little bit more into rhythm and getting a few more kills.
Manu Oleval couldn't handle the serve and then was a little off to hit it as well.
A very aggressive play. I give her credit for going after that ball. Nikki Taylor kind of just put it up, hoping somebody could get it over. Said she takes a full approach and a swing at it, just misses and hits the top of that tape, but a very aggressive play by the senior.
Hardesty blocked, and it's going to go out. So A&M taking advantage of the hands of Hawaii's blockers.
And when Taylor Higgins is on the front row for Hawaii, she is only 5'9". She's not going to put up a very big block. You see Emily Hardesty going for the line shot because that's where Taylor Higgins is. You don't want to go at the middle. Maglio, who's listed as 6'3".
Maglio blocked. Out to Greeley, who goes over the block for the kill.
And that is a great location by Clay Greeley going into that back corner. This is a ball that Texas A&M's block should be covering. Amy Nettles is just unable to get there, but really looked like she almost went over the block, or Shelby Sullivan might have even been a little bit early.
Reeser gonna get her second kill, and that's the third kill in a row we've seen for Texas A&M where they're going off the hands of Hawaii.
When you've got as big of a block as Hawaii puts up, you have to use that to your advantage. That time Maglio was not set. She was floating in the air, which is why Ashley Reeser was able to hit it off her hands.
Maglio out of the middle, and when Hawaii's passing is on, boy, did they make it look easy.
Both teams, as long as they're passing on target, you're going to stay in system. You've heard me say out of system or in system. Out of system is when you're not necessarily getting the ball to your setter, who can then choose where she wants to set it. It may be coming from the back row, or maybe coming from a bump set from another player if you're out of system.
Sullivan with the slide. Nikki Taylor playing some defense. And Greeley comes out of the back row, and Amy Nettles cannot handle it. So Nikki Taylor is such a great all-around player.
And we talked about it a little bit last night in the broadcast. Nikki Taylor is not 100% healthy. She was even limping a little bit on some of the points during that TCU match. She's still out there playing all 6 rotations.
Stephanie Ipley using the dunk for the second time tonight, and that was the time to use it because it's not expected.
This was a much better decision. McGill goes up, but just too late, and Stephanie Ipley puts it right in the middle. Again, SEC Player of the Year, only a sophomore. Just great, great numbers by Ipley on the season.
Monty Olive is blocked by Stephanie Ipley and Shelby Sullivan, and they are pretty excited to get their hands on that one.
This is a great block by Ipley, and it goes so deep that although Hawaii was covering, there was no one in the back court. That just doesn't happen a lot. Luckily for Texas A&M, it stayed in the court.
Amy Nettles with the dig off Nikki Taylor, but it goes out.
And Amy Nettles is struggling a little bit right now, Casey. She's had some good touches, and she does a great job for Texas A&M, but not all of her contacts are going where she wants them. On that time, a little too much. Her platforms turned a little too much, which is why that ball went out.
McGee blocked. And you kind of saw that one coming there when the way that play was set up.
The set was a little inside, therefore McGill did not have to travel as far down the net. And look at McGill and Taylor. They are right next to each other. They leave no holes in that block. McGee has to see that and make a better decision of whether to tip or roll shot around them.
Sullivan blocked. This one goes out. Manu Oleval couldn't get her hands turned in the right direction once again for Hawaii. There that time though was Manu Oleval with the block there.
And in that one rotation, they leave Nikki Taylor on the outside and move Manu Oleval on the right side. This time, her and McGill do a nice job of waiting on that back row attack by Texas A&M, really timing their block perfectly.
Nikki Taylor with the court vision to see that Texas A&M had left a big hole right in the middle of the court. And so that's going to take us to a timeout here. Hawaii storming out in set 2. They lead it 15-12 in the 80s. Susan, and she's actually here, and then her father, Dino Babers, played football for Hawaii, and he was actually just named a new coach somewhere else.
And yeah, some of you who pay attention to ESPN, you will probably have heard the alert today that Dino Babers was actually named Syracuse's head football coach today. So Jazz Babers has her hometown listed on the roster of wherever her dad is coaching, of wherever her dad is located. So she asked the sports information director, Debbie Dara for Texas A&M, to please change her hometown today to Syracuse, New York.
From Bowling Green.
From Bowling Green to Syracuse, New York. So now Jazz Babers, although she played high school ball in Waco, Texas, her hometown is now Syracuse, New York.
A tip and a pickup there. They're going to get a blocking call on Hawai'i. Nikki Taylor was in the net. One more note on the Hawai'i connection. Susan Babers, Jazz's mom, and Dave Soji's wife, Mary, were college roommates for 3 years.
Amazing.
And we have more connections to talk about. We'll get there. Nikki Taylor tips it over. Amy Nettles there, but cannot get it up high enough, and so a great job by Nikki Taylor. She is just changing it up, and A&M cannot predict what she's going to do.
Texas A&M has to read this. That set is so tight. Nikki Taylor's going up with a fist. You know she's not going to hit the ball. She has to pump it over, and Texas A&M just didn't do a good enough job of reading where that ball was going to go.
Jazz Babers with the heads-up play, pushing that one deep. The last few times she swung, she's hit it right to somebody.
And last night, we hadn't seen Texas A&M's middles really take advantage of that deep corner, something they did do, especially towards the end of their SEC season. And that is a great tip, especially when you can see the defense in front of you and know that that middle back might not get there.
Blocked, Nikki Taylor, she comes back with another shot. Hardesty goes down the line, over the block, and Taylor Higgins cannot come up with it. Emily Hardesty loves that line shot.
This is one of her favorite shots, and it's not a hard hit ball, and Higgins had been defending her pretty well tonight so far. That time just doesn't get her hands up quick enough.
Babers pushes it again to that deep corner, but too far on the outside. So Lori Corbelli must have told them at the timeout, hey, look for some other opportunities to get these points. Look where they are not. And they're trying to.
A good decision, just too far.
2-point lead hangs on for Hawai'i now, 17-15, set number 2. Hawai'i won the first set, 25-22. Kendra Kelch now into set for Hawai'i, and she is going to not get that one. So Hawai'i, that was actually Maglio who had to set that one.
So Nikki Taylor didn't get back into the court quickly enough when she was serving. And because of the overpass, Nikki Taylor had a bad pass on her first contact. Maglio did the best she could to get it up, but you saw the spin on that ball, which is why the referee called the double contact.
Taylor Higgins now back into set for Hawai'i. And an easy kill there on the outside by Greeley.
That cross-court shot is very underrated. That is such a tough shot. And Calais Greeley, you see her drop that outside shoulder, getting that arm up and able to go cross-court. That's her 8th kill on the night, hitting .538. That is a massive hitting percentage for an outside hitter.
Ashley Risa, Kendra Kelch back into set again. Hawai'i keeps changing out their setter every other play right now, and that's going to be a point off the block for Manu Oleba.
And this may be more of a blocking situation that Hawai'i is trying to fix. Again, Kendra Kelch is 6'1".
Yes.
Taylor Higgins is only 5'9". And so putting Kelch in on the front row allows them a little bit more height.
Shelby Sullivan goes around the block of Maglio for the kill. She's now got 7 on the evening.
And moving Shelby Sullivan around gave her that open net. Maglio did not stay with her, and the set was so quick that she was unable to get the block up in time. A really great run by Stephanie Ipley and Shelby Sullivan.
Higgins back into set now for Hawai'i. Taylor way off the net on that one because she has to be, but that still she is able. She's so tall that even if the set is as far back as she has to hit it right now where she is in the rotation, she's in the back row, she's still able to send it straight down.
Hawai'i out hitting 33-22 kills right now to Texas A&M. The numbers for Hawaii's offense are just so much better than we saw yesterday, and just so much better than Texas A&M's right now.
Texas A&M unable to take advantage of Hawai'i really being a little out of system on that. They still set Nikki Taylor, and she just really hit it as hard as she could. But then the set, Emily Hardesty not ready for it. So timeout now. Texas A&M calls the timeout on this one. And, you know, we've talked about these two teams in their head-to-head. The only time A&M has beaten Hawaii was back in 1999, December 1999. They beat them in the NCAA tournament. Every other time it's been Hawaii winning this head-to-head matchup.
And that was a big upset. Hawaii was ranked 3rd at the time, and Texas A&M beat them there to advance to the Elite Eight that year. But right now, it is all Hawaii, Casey. They're hitting 373 to Texas A&M's 259. I still haven't seen either team block as well as I expected to see. Hawaii comes into this match, comes into this NCAA tournament leading the nation in the blocking category. And they have had, they've had 4 total blocks tonight as a team. Still, again, not what I expected to see. Texas A&M only 2 blocks as a team on the evening so far.
Yeah, Hawaii in the top 10 in several national categories, blocking just being one of them. The other one that they're in is how their opponents, you know, how they hold them to their hitting percentage. And so far against Texas A&M, you know, they're doing okay. They're holding A&M to, like you said, kind of an average number, 259 on the match. So Texas A&M and Hawaii, one of 62 of 64 teams that have started the NCAA tournament, almost down to 32. And so this is the College Station sub-regional. The winner of this sub-regional will go on to the regional in Des Moines, Iowa, which starts on December 11th. And then the winner from that regional goes on to the semifinals. And the championship in Omaha, Nebraska this year is where that is. You can get all tournament information, including stats, on NCAA.com.
Got some hardcore Hawaii fans that are here. Not sure if they traveled here from Hawaii or if maybe they're just
drove in
by,
from a close by, yeah.
But they're here cheering on their bows, trying to get them a win here in College Station.
Hardesty blocked. Ipley sends that one over, and a smart heads-up play by A&M setter.
That was a crucial point for Texas A&M because they are down by 4 during that point right there. Stephanie Ipley puts it in that crash zone is what we like to call it, where even if players go after it, they're probably going to crash together because it's just right in the middle of everybody.
Hardesty then comes back with a service error, and that is a very frustrating service error at this point in the match if you're Texas A&M.
And Emily Hardesty doesn't serve aggressively enough to miss serves like that, especially in that situation. She's got to take a little bit more focus behind the service line and get that ball over and in.
Another tight pass. Shelby Sullivan, though, is there to send it over, but then McGill comes in for Hawaii and puts that one down, and Hawaii looks to be closing out here, set number 2, going up now 23-18, just 2 points away from going intermission up 2-0, and Texas A&M once again wants to talk about it.
McGill with 6 kills on the night, hitting 333 after that last kill that she just had, and she has just been doing a phenomenal job for Hawaii. You can see the emotion, I guess, right there on the bench as her coaches kind of talk to the players about what they're seeing out there and what kind of adjustments, if any, really need to be made. The more of the adjustments need to be made on Texas A&M's side right now.
So you see head coach Lori Corbelli for Texas A&M. Her associate head coach is her husband, John Corbelli, and he actually grew up in Hawaii. He's from Hawaii. That's how they met, is the volleyball connection. And John was a member of the 1972 volleyball state championship team. There you see him, from Punahou High School in Honolulu. And the guy next to him is connected to Hawaii's current roster. He is the father of the defensive specialist libero for Hawaii.
Claire Marie Anderson, number 4. You'll typically see her come in and serve. That's her father, Jay Anderson. And actually also in that picture is her uncle, another Anderson. A lot of connections. But John Corbelli, associate head coach, obviously has been here just as long as Lori, 23 seasons at Texas A&M, and he is such a, I shouldn't say quiet leader. He's one because his wife gets all of the recognition and the FaceTime, You don't hear a lot about John, but he just does so much. There is Claire Marie Anderson, number 4. It was her father who was also in that picture with John. She's a sophomore again. She likes to come in and serve for the Rainbow Wahine.
And Dave Soji used to come and scrimmage against that championship team, so he played part in winning another championship in Hawaii, other than the 4 national ones he's won with the Rainbow Wahine, 3 of those being NCAA championships. Shelby Sullivan coming up for Texas A&M with the kill. 23-19 now, Hawaii holding on to a 4-point lead. McGill, the hit slowed down by the block. But it's not that time, and they are smartly continuing to go to McGill.
And Taylor Higgins is doing a great job of keeping the sets just far enough off the net that McGill can turn them wherever she wants. She can go to her right or to her left, avoiding that big Jazz Babers block that is directly in front of her.
Set point for Hawaii to go up 2-0. And Kiara McGee tries to tip it. A good idea, but she sends it out, and that is how we are going to go to intermission. A&M falling down now 0-2. Hawaii takes that one 25-19.
Name that we told you about at the beginning of the match, and she sure has produced. There's McGill out of the middle, though, putting up some really big numbers for the Rainbow Wahine, but Nikki Taylor, the junior right side, doing it from the back row, doing it from the front row. She has just done a great job. And look at the emotion, Casey. That's probably the biggest difference tonight.
And then for Texas A&M, senior Shelby Sullivan.
Shelby Sullivan has just been unstoppable. The lone senior playing on the court right now for Texas A&M. She does not want this to be her last match. And looking at the numbers, you can see just why Hawaii is up 2-0. They are out attacking, out blocking, out digging Texas A&M in all categories. And although Texas A&M's numbers aren't bad, Hawaii's are just that much better.
Hawaii has just been the better team here tonight so far, and part of that is due to we talked about the emotion we're seeing from Hawaii. Their style is very businesslike. They are a very businesslike team. They know they want to go to work, and that comes from their coach, Dave Soji. He's been there 41 years, and you watch him on the bench. He's been very animated. He knows this team, and he knows how to say what he needs to say when he needs to say it.
That's kind of how he looks about 90% of the match. If there's a bad call or something he doesn't agree with, he may get up. His overall record, it's just unreal. Big West Coach of the Year this year, and obviously a member of the Hawaii Sports Hall of Fame. How can you not be a Hall of Famer with that kind of resume?
34 NCAA appearances out of 35 that they could have possibly been here with 3 national championships. On the other side of the net, Lori Corbelli, this is Texas A&M's 23rd appearance in the NCAA tournament. So both of these 2 teams have been here before. Hawaii a little bit more, obviously, but these 2 teams understand the pressure. Texas A&M's record in the second round is not as good as Hawaii. They've only won 6 of their ones since they've been able to come in, and we've got a change in the A&M lineup. I'll get to that in just a second. Dig by Amy Nettles. Sullivan. Kahaka is there with the dig. And there's a block by Caitlin Blake, and that is the change I was going to talk about. They brought her in to play outside hitter, and she is such a utility player. She can do that. She played right side in the previous set for a few points.
And this is a good play by Caitlin Blake, staying with Nikki Taylor. I talked about Hawaii winning a lot of those close balls up above the net. That time goes to Texas A&M.
And Caitlin Blake adds height out there on that blocking position for Texas A&M. McGill goes right over, though, she and Shelby Sullivan's block. So bringing in the freshman against such an experienced Hawaii team, we'll have to see how Caitlin Blake
You're also going to see Caitlin Labhart, number 1, come in from Texas A&M in the back row. We'll see what kind of defensive and serve-receive adjustments she can make and give Texas A&M.
That's going to be A&M asking for the tip. I thought I saw it too, but the up ref is going to say no on that one. It's really hard to tell sometimes from our angle. She's got the best angle up on the stand.
You can see Shelby Sullivan right there saying a little higher. That's what she wanted from her setter, Stephanie Ipley, on that last set.
Blake from the outside trying to go over that block in front of her, Nikki Taylor.
And this is where it's tough for a freshman coming in. Maybe some nerves, maybe a little anxious. That ball's out of system. It's not a perfectly set ball. She tries to go that cross court and just misses wide.
And it's understandable why Roy Corbelli has made this change, trying to spark a little something on the court for A&M, because they haven't had a whole lot going on in the first 2 sets.
A great slide run by
Yes.
Shelby Sullivan on that last play. Beautiful set by Stephanie Ipley. There's a big hole down the line. Greeley had thought Sullivan was going to maybe go cross. She reached in, leaving that line shot wide open for Sullivan. That's her 8th kill on the night.
Kiara McGee back into the front row, and Emily Hardesty, another service error for her. So Caitlin Blake out now, hitting error, and Coach Corbelli decides to put Kiara McGee back in. And Emily Hardesty comes in to play back row. Stephanie Ipley, and what a great move from her right there.
And this is a great play by Ipley, and honestly, totally caught Hawaii's blockers off guard. No one goes up with her. Nikki Taylor was probably the closest to her, and Maglio was so far away, she didn't think she should go up, leaving Stephanie Ipley wide open.
Shelby Sullivan playing some defense, but Texas A&M unable to come up with it. And you know they're always going to hit at Shelby Sullivan after she serves.
Yeah, this ball goes back over the net, and Maglio does a great job of not trying to kill the ball, but just swiping it to the right, putting it where there was not a Texas A&M defender.
So Hawaii off again to a quick start here, up 5-3 in set number 3. Labhart with the dig. McGee gets way up in the air on that one, but can't bring the ball down in the courts.
Great defense on both sides to Hawkeye for Hawaii, with a beautiful dig on the tip by Babers, and then Labhart with a nice dig, setting up this swing to Kiara McGee, but just unloading a little bit too much and too high on that one.
Babers on the slide, and that's going to go down in the court for Jazz Babers. That's going to be her 7th kill of the afternoon.
Babers really has to chase this one down. You see her falling all the way back afterwards, but what a beautiful cross-court shot. And you can see the emotion and the excitement. Texas A&M trying to keep that energy up.
Ashley Reeser absolutely made a very aggressive play right there. Maybe not the smartest move in that point, but she's trying to make something happen.
Maglio just played great defense. This is a really good idea by Reeser, but Maglio stays right on top of her, and because Reeser was turned, she couldn't see that block in front of her.
Very smart play by Maglio, ready for anything. Jazz Babers dug on that one. And Manu Olebao on the kill for the Bows.
And credit to Nikki Taylor, 2 digs during that rally, both coming off of Jazz Babers, setting up the swing by Manu Olebao for Hawaii. And this senior, she adds one more. She's only got 3 kills on the day, but they've come at really good times for Hawaii.
Boy, does she hit the ball hard, too. Speaking of hitting hard, Ashley Reeser did, but it was met by the hands of Maglio right there.
And this is all Hawaii right now, Casey. Everything is just going the Bows' way. Texas A&M really struggling to find anything right now.
So Hawaii out to an early lead here in set number 3, 9-4, and coming out of intermission. If you're Texas A&M, this is not really what you wanted to see happen.
No, not at all. You really wish that they could have come a little bit stronger.
So Texas A&M down by 5 here. Hawaii is up on this one 2-0. And so this is the point in the match where A&M is trying to do anything they can to throw Hawaii off their game. They're bringing in different players. They're trying some different rotations to see if it happens. But Hawaii, their experience is telling them just stay calm and play.
Hawaii is doing what they do best. They're out there passing, and they're getting Higgins the ball to where she can really spread out her offense, which is why Hawaii is hitting 361 on a whole right now. You can see here in the third set, neither team is hitting as well as they have been, especially Texas A&M hitting -.143. Hawaii only hitting 182, but that's all they really have to do right now because Texas A&M just can't get anything working.
Neither team is blocking a whole lot tonight. Hawaii's got 5, A&M's got 3. But, you know, we talked about earlier that Hawaii is such a great blocking team, and part of that is due to the fact that this is one of the tallest teams they've had in a very long time there.
With newcomers listed at 6'5", 6'3", and 6 foot new to the roster this year, Hawaii is averaging 6 foot. That is the tallest team in program history for the Bows.
And that tells you a lot about the athleticism that their previous teams have all had. A&M, Hardesty not ready for that serve, and they're going to call a double hit there on that one as that ricocheted off Jazz Babers there on that serve receive.
I think that when they're saying touched Babers or Ipley twice, an interesting call. I thought maybe it was going to be a lift, but they called a double contact. Either way, an ace for Clay Greeley.
Ashley Reeser coming out of the middle and just finds the back corner for the kill.
This is a good play by Texas A&M. Stephanie Ipley going behind her into the middle in a really good location for Ashley Reeser. That back part of the court is so hard to defend regardless of how good your libero or your DSs are.
So A&M trying to mix it up a little bit more and do really anything they can to try to get some of these points back, but no block up Mosley at all right there for Nikki Taylor.
Nikki Taylor just hits this ball so hard. She's got such a heavy arm, is what we kind of like to call it in the world of volleyball. There is so much speed and power on her attack, whether she's coming out of the front row or the back row.
Jazz Babers just unable to get there to help out on that block with Caitlin Blake. What a fantastic hustle there by Claire Marie Anderson. And then to finish it off is Tamanu Olebao with a monster hit.
Absolutely phenomenal hustle by Anderson as she keeps this ball in play. And then McGill just puts it up nice and high. Manu Olebao coming away with the swing and the kill for Hawaii.
Caitlin Blake blocked. Babers goes for that deep corner. Great hustle by Greeley in the back row. And then to finish it off is a bad block by A&M. Hawaii just playing so much above where Texas A&M is right now.
We talked about how neither one of these teams has a lot of blocks, but just because those blocks don't go down as numbers, Hawaii has put up a huge wall.
Hawaii up 13-5. Carrying set goal of the match now up over Texas A&M, 13-5. And, you know, we thought we might see both teams really play a lot better than they did last night, but Hawaii is just heads and tails above Texas A&M right now.
They're hitting 333 here in this third set and keeping Texas A&M to a negative hitting percentage, and a lot of that is the adjustments that they've made with their block. And defensively, they have just been lights out. A big stat that you caught eye of was Nikki Taylor with 8 digs on the evening. Just really great number there by the right side.
And you just don't usually see 6'4" players able to come up with digs like that. But out of the timeout, how about the emotion right there from freshman Caitlin Blake?
And she's been like that all year. She brings so much excitement to this team. A great swing down the line for the freshman, and she's really trying to keep this going for the Aggies.
As a freshman, she already understands what this means for Texas A&M if they can get a win here today over Hawaii. And there's another big play from Texas A&M, and they are doing everything they can to get pumped up, including the players on the bench right now, I'd like to point out, who are really just trying to will this team to step it up a notch and play better than they have so far. Amy Nettles with A&M's second ace of the night. Kahaka and Greeley for the kill, and A&M did a great job of communicating on that play.
And Ashley Reeser with her 4th kill on the night. Texas A&M looks like a completely different team coming out of that timeout, Casey. They're still down by 5, but really building. And the key word for this team all year has been work. And that's something that Coach Corbelli talked to us about at the beginning of the match. They have continued to work all season.
Blake with the big dig comes up swinging after that, but the Hawkeye is there for Hawaii. But that time, Ashley Reeser sent it right off of her arm, and Texas A&M has come out on fire now after that timeout, coming up with 4 straight points to none for Hawaii, and that's going to cause a timeout by Hawaii.
And we've talked about Stephanie Eichley, SEC Player of the Year. One of the reasons she leads Texas A&M's team with 7 double-doubles. Not only is she getting, obviously, the majority of the assists throughout the match, but she's playing defense. And on that rally alone, she had a couple of digs that were very hard-driven balls by Hawaii. When you can trust your setter to play that kind of defense when she's in the back row, that just gives the whole team so much more confidence.
And here's more about Eichley. She's a sophomore, SEC Player of the Year, 6-time Setter of the Week, 2-time Player of the Week. She has just been the cog that has really held this A&M team together this year.
And you have to remember, she was out for a few matches at the beginning of the season due to an injury. One of the many Texas A&M players who suffered from injuries this season. And when she came back and she got healthy again, it was just incredible the way she turned this team around.
She's definitely been one of the players, and you know, we talked about the defense for Texas A&M. Let's talk about Hawaii there after that timeout and what they were not doing as well as they had done. Is it so much A&M came out on fire, but Hawaii just kind of lost track a little bit, maybe lost a little focus.
Their block has definitely opened up a little bit more, and that's something that they need to get back to. And you can kind of hear it around us, Casey, the fans getting a little bit more excited. This is a Texas A&M team that is used to being down in matches and coming back. And on the flip side, remember, Hawaii's only lost one match all year. This is a team that knows how to win. This is going to be a battle, although Hawaii is up here in this 3rd set.
A&M still a lot of ground to make up here against a very experienced Hawaii team. McGill pushes that one into the block, and it's going to fall in for another Texas A&M point. And Caitlin Blake has been such a spark for Texas A&M.
Hawaii not happy with this call.
Very close.
But it was very close right on the line, and that's the kind of break that Texas A&M needs to take advantage of here.
Amy Nettles continues to serve for the Aggies. And that streak ends at 5 points for Texas A&M. That's probably, and I have to double check, but their longest run of the match.
And you know, when you have a perfect pass and you have options on the front row and you still go to your back row player and Nikki Taylor, shows you how much confidence Hawaii has in their junior right side.
And just a very tough serve from Taylor Higgins. And I believe that was emotion from her right there to hit that ball like she did to try to shut Texas A&M's emotion down. And the momentum that they have had is now shifting back to Hawaii. She serves that one a little long. So the point goes back to Texas A&M. Caitlin Labhart is going to come back in and play defense.
Hawaii's 5th service error of the game. They also have 5 aces, so there's that risk reward. It is balanced. You would like to see you have more aces than errors, but that's what happens when you have such an aggressive serving team.
Shelby Sullivan sends that happy birthday back to Hawaii's side. So now A&M within 3 here of the Bows in set number 3. A&M playing to stay alive here as Hawaii has won the first 2 sets.
A tough serve right there by Caitlin Labhart, setting up that overpass.
Quick out of the middle for McGill. Her 9th kill.
And yesterday, when Hawaii was playing TCU and they started getting into trouble, that's who they looked to. Taylor wasn't playing all that great, and so they went to their middles, Maglio and McGill really came through yesterday in the clutch for Hawaii.
Very tight pass there. Stephanie Ipley did a great job of coming up with it, but the hitting error on the outside was the issue with there for A&M.
And most of Texas A&M's errors have come from their younger players, especially here late in this match. That one on freshman Caitlin Blake. She's got to keep that ball in play.
Shelby Sullivan getting the point back for Texas A&M, her 10th kill now of the night.
And there's your senior leader, kind of the difference right there that you're going to see between your veteran middle blocker, Shelby Sullivan, not only keeping that tough set in play, but getting the kill out of it. Hawaii's fans trying to help cheer them on to a sweep here in College Station. Texas A&M, though, not going away quite yet.
And really did a really good job on that play of using the block to her advantage.
Hawaii is just grinding it out, and although A&M is doing a great job of sticking with some plays too, Hawaii just keeps going, really not able to get a really big swing off of that one, but taking advantage of that Texas A&M block in front of her.
Wide swing there by Kiara McGee, and I want to talk about Hawaii's libero, Savannah Kahakai, who's about to go back and serve. She's now got 19 digs, and they have been some major digs that for most of Texas A&M season have been kills for them, and she's been there to pick them up. Off the block, another kill there for Hawaii.
You mentioned Kahakai with 19 digs. Texas A&M, no one on their team even has double-digit digs right now, and she's almost at 20. Just shows you how impressive she's been all evening and really been all over the court.
Big block there by Nikki Taylor and Maglio, and then Maglio comes back but swings it wide, so Hawaii really just going for the kill right now as they go up by 6 now on Texas A&M here in set number 3.
This is a great job by Texas A&M keeping that ball alive, and then Maglio with the hitting error, but that's what you have to do. You have to keep balls in play. You have to force the other team to make errors.
Easy swing there by Maglio, and Hawaii now 4 points away from moving on to the regional in Des Moines later this week.
I love when a setter goes back to a hitter who just made an error. Maglio had just made a hitting error on the play before. Taylor Higgins gave it right back to her, allowing her to make that adjustment. She comes away with the kill.
Jazz Babers pulling out the tip right there. Hawaii expecting her to swing away as she has done most of the day.
And this is a great front row you have for Texas A&M right now. Jazz Babers, Kiara McGee, and Ashley Reeser. You have to think this is when you need to turn it on. You cannot wait any longer. Hawaii is only 4 points away. You've got to put a run together right here if you're Texas A&M.
Ipley known for her short serve, and that one too short, doesn't cross the net. So A&M finds themselves falling back behind now. They had made a big run, got within 3 here in this third set, but Hawaii stayed the course, did not, bow down at all, and is now 3 points away from moving on. Baber swings away that time and gets a kill for Texas A&M.
And the emotion and the energy is still there on both sides of the court. Texas A&M is not giving up. This is a beautiful run by Jazz Babers. Stephanie Ipley gets it all the way out to the pin, and Manu Olivao, is unable to get all the way over there with her block.
Going back to Babers for the 3rd kill in a row for the junior.
When you got the hot hand, you got to keep feeding her. Hawaii hasn't been able to come up with an answer in the last few plays. This time just straight out of the middle. Maglio gets a little bit of a touch on it, but unable to pick that one up for Hawaii.
Nikki Taylor, Amy Nettles is there, but it's just out of reach. So that is going to take us to 23-17 now. Hawaii 2 points away.
Nikki Taylor with 14 kills on the night, hitting .333. Those are the type of numbers that we expected from Nikki Taylor, and she has definitely produced for Hawaii tonight.
A&M, the 10th seeded team in the tournament, about to lose this one if they can't find a way to come back. And they keep going to Jazz Babers, but now they rotated, and she is out of the game on the bench.
The nice thing for Texas A&M is when Jazz leaves, Shelby Sullivan comes
they
in.
just replace her with their other All-American
middle. You talk about middle-dominated team. That's what Texas A&M has really just kind of lived and breathed all year long.
Manu Olebao blocked by Ashley Reeser and Shelby Sullivan. So A&M continues to fight here, closing now back within 4, and that was all Ashley Reeser on that block. Taylor out of the back row, lit one there for the dig. Caitlin Blake, though, cannot send it over the net, and now Hawaii is at match point here in College Station over 10th seeded Texas A&M. Hawaii trying to advance to the regional in Des Moines, Iowa. Set point goes into the net. Still have 4 more to go. You can hear the crowd here in College Station, definitely still in this one.
And Caitlin Labhart has to get it in her head that she's about to serve 6 balls in a row if Texas A&M wants to come away with this one.
Set point, match point for Hawaii. And that's going to do it. Hawaii takes the match 25-20, a sweep over Texas A&M.
And what a phenomenal outing by the Bows today, Casey. They really turned things around after yesterday's match. Hats off to Texas A&M and to their seniors for a wonderful season. You know, SEC champs, some really great awards on that team, but Hawaii, they're the ones who come away victorious tonight.
Not a unknown road for the Rainbow Wahine. They will be in a place they've been very familiar with here as they move on to the regionals. But for Texas A&M, their season has come to an end, and you saw the look on the faces of senior Shelby Sullivan and Angela Loack right there. So Hawaii takes this one in 3, 25-22, 25-19, and 25-20. So for Chelsea Reber, I'm Casey Richardson saying so long from College Station, where the Rainbow Wahine of Hawaii sweep the Aggies in 3 sets. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of the ESPN Network.